KUAM TVH, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. New Jeep Gladiators receive 20% off now at Cars Plus. Named the best vehicle for adventure in 2024. Get your Jeep Gladiator today at Cars Plus. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A death investigation now confirmed to be a homicide. Multiple people are under arrest in connection to the killing of Joshua Taidagui. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the report.
The Joten Kizu Public Library falling victim to crime twice in a matter of months in the CNMI. I'm Tomas Maglonia with the full story and their message to those responsible.
And contract negotiations begin for the new home of the Sharks. The winning construction manager is the same company who built the Guam Museum.
Afternoon, good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
Destiny, all clear has been given after another potential fentanyl scare unfolding at the police precinct in Dededo today.
It's the second one Guam police have come across in the past week. KUAM got word of the evacuation at the Dededo precinct around 2 p.m. today after the drugs were found on a suspect in custody. Police say precautionary safety measures were taken after harmful substances were found. By 4 p.m., the substance tested negative for fentanyl. This incident comes a week after an arrestee had overdosed on fentanyl while in custody at the Tumon precinct. She was taken to the hospital to be monitored.
Shot in the head and left to die in the middle of the street. Investigators are waiting for an autopsy to be performed on 48-year-old Joshua Taidagui.
David Nkanko Jr., Francis Cruz, and Daryl Cundiff are now in prison, charged in the killing that unfolded over the weekend in Talo'fo'fo. Mitsuki Hirayama has the story.
A plot to steal a car to get meth leading to an accidental shooting, and 3 people now accused in the killing of 48-year-old Joshua Taidagui. The homicide investigation revealing Taidagui was shot in the head and left to die in the middle of a Talo'fo'fo road over the weekend. 53-year-old David Nkanko Jr. is charged with aggravated murder, robbery, and drug possession. 38-year-old Francis Cruz is charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated murder and conspiracy to commit robbery. 45-year-old Daryl Cundiff is also charged accused of giving Nkanko the murder weapon. Court documents state Cruz and Nkanko admitted to smoking meth prior to the shooting and not sleeping for days. Guam Attorney General Doug Moylan.
This is part of that ongoing meth problem that we're having. All the individuals that are going to be charged today are part of the meth world.
Detectives learning that Taidagui left his home just before 3 a.m. Saturday to give Cruz a ride in his white 2007 Toyota Corolla. About an hour later, Taidagui was found dead at Chalanmata Street. Then, just after 8 a.m., surveillance video from Charis Mart and Dededo showing Nkanko allegedly arriving in the victim's stolen car and robbing the store at gunpoint, taking off with $330. Police later found the car ditched in the Dededo area. Authorities say Cruz and Nkanko confessed and later led detectives to the evidence to include the alleged murder weapon. Cundiff allegedly admitted to giving a 9mm pistol to Nkanko, but during today's magistrate hearing, Nkanko, who is being held on $500,000 bail, tried to tell the court Cundiff was not involved.
The gun didn't come from Cundiff. It came from BG Shuteja. You got the wrong guy.
Sir, we will. This
so
is
the guy that's implicating in the gun that's used in the homicide. That's not him.
Hold on. You're charged with murder. You need to stop talking.
Cundiff is being held on $10,000 cash bail. Cruz will see a judge at a later date. But as the community comes to grips with this gruesome homicide, attorney Peter Santos believes it could have been avoided.
Doug really owes the family of the victim a huge explanation.
Santos case where he was being tried for retail theft and drug possession. Nkanko was set to go to trial in early June in what Santos says should have been an open and shut case.
It seemed to me that GPD had handed the AG's office that case on a silver platter, and I was completely dumbfounded, taken aback when they dismissed the case because we were ready to go.
The acting chief prosecutor asked to dismiss the case, saying further investigation was required. It's why Nkanko was released just weeks before the killing.
What we're dealing with is a dysfunctional and inept prosecution division that's not able to meet its mandate.
But Guam Attorney General Doug Moylan is standing by his prosecutor's decision.
I disagree with that statement, but I'm not going to water it down. That this is an issue that the entire criminal justice system needs to address, and we need at the AG's office to have sufficient prosecutors to keep these people and to try them within the speedy trial right.
He points the issue to a lack of prosecutors, adding his office expects to re-indict Nkanko for his previous crimes. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Now to a disturbing discovery by a group of hikers on Saipan. On Sunday, the hikers found human skeletal remains inside the cave by Banzai Cliff in the Marpi area on Saipan. The remains were found next to artifacts that are believed to be from World War II.
A member of the HPO, Historic Preservation Office, came by and determined that the bones that were found are not a World War II bones. They are less than 20 years old, 20 years bones that were discovered.
An investigation is underway. We've got the full interview with the CNMI DPS Commissioner on KUAM's YouTube channel. Well, the Jotun Kizu Public Library on Saipan has fallen victim to crime twice in a matter of months.
Regional correspondent Tomas Manglona has the details and their message to those responsible.
The Jotun Kizu Public Library was targeted by thieves twice in a matter of months. In April, the library's typhoon shutters were stolen. The library later found it at a recycling center. In June, someone cut the fuel lines and stole gas from their bookmobile and technology mobile express vans. Erlinda Napati is the library director and has worked at JKPL for over 3 decades.
And we've seen minor incidents, but this by far is the worst that I've encountered working here and being the director. I don't know if I should be disappointed or saddened. It's just disheartening that our people are so desperate to attack the library.
Their surveillance cameras caught the moments of the June incident, appearing to show a truck picking up a gas container. The Department of Public Safety says they've identified a suspect in the stolen shutters case. The June incident remains under investigation. The library has this message for those responsible.
And if these people that are out here listening, people that did this to the library is out there listening, please come into the library. There are ways that we can help you better your lives. We have free resume class. We have free resources that you can use. We have free access to the internet where you could probably find, help or seek help, if be it mental health challenges or whatever it may be, just needing to just better your lives. The library is here to help. That's what we're here for.
Tomas Manglona, KUAM News, Saipan.
Back here on Guam, progress underway for the construction of a new Simon Sanchez High School. A top construction manager is currently negotiating the contract.
So just how soon could we see a new home for the Sharks? We speak with Public Works to get that answer.
The tide is beginning to turn for a new home for the Sharks.
With a project this large, this magnitude, we're looking at preliminary figures are anywhere 140, 150 some million. Clearly a construction manager is needed.
The Department of Public Works announcing SSFM in a top-ranked proposal to help rebuild Simon Sanchez High School. DPW Director Vince Areola says it's estimated to cost $7 million.
We will negotiate with them for terms, for time, for fees, and those issues associated with a construction manager.
As for when the new school will be built, that remains up in the air.
Just for a quick timeline, if we select them within the next couple of weeks, we still have to work on the contract. This contract still has to go through the governor for signature. And even prior to that, it still has to clear the Attorney General's office. And we all know some of the issues that we've been having there.
The island's Catholic faithful rejoiced at this past weekend's breaking news that the Archdiocese of Agana has a new leader. Archbishop-elect Ryan Jimenez spoke this morning to island media about his plans to celebrate beliefs and also about the role of the church in the modern world.
The continuing work of healing and reconciliation and bringing back trust to people. And I've always learned this, that when you're new in your role, whatever leadership role, take the time to get to know people, the staff, the priests, the deacons, that community. Like I imagine seeing myself visiting parishes, engaging in a conversation, and not make drastic changes. An open mind, an open heart, and wanting a student who's eager to learn and what that learning would mean to benefit not for myself, but for the people. But on the lighter side, I play tennis, and Guam has better tennis courts than Saipan. I don't know who to ask because I learned that you have to have membership to be able to, the state-of-the-art tennis court. If you can lead me to that person, then, I'd be very happy. Then, I would really look forward to that.
I heard he's looking for a tennis membership as well. The installation mass to welcome Archbishop Jimenez will be held on Thursday, August 15th. His Excellency also covered other topics, which you can see now on KUAM's YouTube channel.
As we reported, Father Romy Convacar had been serving as Apostolic Administrator since the resignation of Archbishop Michael Burns in 2023 due to health concerns. Archbishop Burns had been brought to Guam following the church sex abuse scandal that rocked the community. We'll be right back.
Get ready to soak up the savings this summer at Kmart. Since 1995, Kmart has been the ultimate summer destination for everything you need. From groceries to outdoor living to everyday fashions for the family, we've been there for you. 24 hours a day. Kmart is committed to saving you time and money by offering big international and American brands you know, at prices incredibly low. Whether you're finding the perfect shade for that summer glow in our beauty care aisles, firing up your summer cookouts from top brands like Weber and Kenmore, or gearing up for those outdoor camping and beach adventures, Kmart's your one-stop shop for an active, fun-filled summer. So, join the fun and soak up the savings. You'll find everything you need and more, only at Kmart, the ultimate shopping destination in Guam, where savings, quality, and summer fun meet under one roof. Kmart, your 24-hour superstore.
Dreaming is the easy part. I've been doing that since I started competing at a young age. As a triathlete all these years later, that dream is what keeps me going. Thanks to the support of my sponsors like Community First, I can put my all into training and competing full-time. I'm proud to represent Guam all over the world, and with our community behind me, that dream is becoming my reality.
Community First, supporting success stories one member at a time.
Hey fam, this is Brandon the Truth Bearer here at Mount Carmel down in Agate, Guam, letting you know for the school year 2024-2025, Mount Carmel is starting a brand new program. Full martial arts, required part of the curriculum every single day. Me of all people, I understand that it takes a team to make this happen. Man, sometimes a village. We have the all-star team coming in. Professor DJ Action Jackson, Professor Dorian Price. They are coming to Guam. They are coming to Mount Carmel to help make sure that the Alliance Training Center Academy program is running on all cylinders. Come on down, sign up, let's train.
Register your child today.
24 days until the August 3rd primary. Early voting also begins Monday, July 15th at the Western Resort in Tumon.
KUAM is your Decision 2024 source for all your election coverage, and we've also got another round of senatorial candidates ready to take your questions. 5 senatorial candidates are confirmed to appear on the Hub this Wednesday. On the Republican ticket, we have newcomer Sabrina Salas Matanani, former Senator Tony Atta, and incumbent Frank Blas Jr. Under the Democratic ticket, newcomer David Crisostomo and incumbent Therese Terlahi. This episode of the Hub airs this Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. on KUAM TV 8 following primetime. You can also watch our interviews with the other mayoral and senatorial candidates right now on KUAM News' YouTube channel.
It's about that time to get your spot along the 80th Liberation Day parade route secured.
You can head over to the Paseo Stadium building this Friday starting at 7:21 a.m. Get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they use the Liberation Date as the time to kick off reserving spots. And applicants will be allowed to enter through the Paseo Center Court main gates. Camping permits will be issued for areas along Marine Corps Drive. Parks and Rec officials say both sides of the street will be permitted. It's first come, first serve.
Additionally, anyone interested in being part of the parade can email register.liberation.parade@gmail.com or call 671-646-4361. The deadline to register to be a parade participant is this Thursday by 5 p.m.
And join us on this celebration of the 80th Liberation of Guam by sharing stories and tributes to the greatest generation. All you have to do is send us photos and your message about the survivor you want to honor. You can send it to @KUAM News on Instagram or Facebook. Then we will showcase each tribute here on KUAM News and on our digital platforms. It's My Liberation Hero. Let's come together to remember and honor their sacrifices.
Now for a look at your world at home.
Here's a view captured on Saipan from the Garapan fishing base.
Hafide, this is Amanda Shelton. It's been my privilege to serve as your senator since 2019 to advance an agenda built on the needs and aspirations of the people of Guam by building consensus with both Democrat and Republican colleagues. Together, we've secured funding for critical programs, strengthened existing laws, and championed new legislation. We did so with recognition and respect for the many and diverse constituencies that make up our island. Today, I'm running for Congress, and it's these values, skills, experience that I'll use to advocate for Guam and Washington. Everyone has ideas. Experienced legislators are both mindful and respectful of others' ideas, but experienced lawmakers also know how to build consensus and turn ideas into action. I'm ready to do the heavy lifting for our island in Congress, and I humbly ask for your vote.
Paid for by Shelton for Congress, Johnny Cole Torres, Treasurer.
I'm Tony Atta, and I approve this message.
Tony Atta produced quality legislation as a senator. Laws that prioritize our needs and keep our people safe. His Castle Doctrine legislation is the strongest law of the land, which allows us to protect our loved ones at home. But Tony's been serving our community long before he became a senator. So when people say, I'm glad Tony's back in politics, we say, no, Tony never left leadership. Vote Tony Atta for senator. It's time to bring back the quality.
This burger looked at one slice of melted cheese and said, more cheese. It looked at pickles and said, also onions. It wanted to be more than hot. It wanted to be juicy. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese. If you thought one napkin for the Quarter Pounder with cheese was enough, it's not enough.
Shelley Calvo, successful entrepreneur, philanthropist, proud mother and grandmother. Shelley's broad experience spans from Silicon Valley management to chairing Guam's Homeless Coalition. As our senator, Shelley will create career opportunities for our next generation, pull people out of poverty, and will vigorously protect Guam's children from predators. Shelley is equal parts passion and compassion. If bringing values and unity to the legislature is important to you, please vote Shelley Calvo for senator.
I'm Shelley Calvo, and I approve this message. You know, life shouldn't be this hard for those who live here. I have a vision for lower prices on airfare, more affordable housing, better health care, and moving veteran services from Hawaii to Guam. I will get Guam a role in the economic expansion in the Asian Pacific, with more federal support for infrastructure, a 100% screen to stop illegal drugs, and new high-paying jobs. We can turn Guam's unique position into lasting prosperity. I'm Ginger Cruz. I approve this ad, and I humbly ask for your vote.
There are just two words the beach volleyball community needed to know about during July 4th weekend. Pacific Jam. 21 men's teams, 9 women's tandems, Jimmy D's. That's all. Enough said. Let's go.
The best thing about it is the caliber of every team is really good. If you look around and watch them playing, each team has a lot of ball control, good offensive skills and good defensive skills. So I think it's awesome.
Different faces. We usually come here every year, and this is our second, more like our third or fourth year, but our second official year. And I see a lot of new faces, and that's very rewarding and that's why we do this. We want to get more people to come out, more players, more interest.
The tournament let Guam's top sand seekers put their well-honed skills to the test and also brought in top regional talent, including the recent Micronesian Games gold medalists from Palau.
Kristen and I are regulars. We come out here every Sunday, and so we love playing with our friends, but it's actually nice to get new people to come and compete against. It's some healthy, fun competition. So it's really nice to play against different people that we haven't met before and just see their caliber, see where they're from.
The IQ of volleyball, a lot of people are picking up the IQ. The good thing about beach, it really challenges you mentally. You don't have to be big to really win, but you have to be smart, and whatever challenges you face, whether it's the wind, the good serve, float serve, adjustment, quick adjustment is key. So I see that here, a lot of quick adjustments.
And compared to Palau, most of the teams are really serious with their warm-up. I saw a bunch of people, the games haven't even started. I think we haven't even announced registration yet, and people are already warming up to get ready to play.
And Chris Shepard, who's been at the forefront of growing the sport as a player, coach, and official, says the opportunity to compete against off-island players is invaluable.
Well, I like seeing there's a few kids here that are playing that have played in the high school league that just recently finished, finished in March, but they're now graduates, but they played on the beach, and that has grown so much in the last 4 or 5 years, and hopefully it'll roll into what we see here today, and also for stuff like the Pacific Games and micro games and mini games where Guam could represent pretty well with the talent that we have.
I think it's nice to just be familiar with your environment, and we just feel so comfortable here. We just, like I said, we just come out for fun, to have a good time.
Right on.
Yeah, so definitely a home court advantage. But
And sharing our Hafaday sports spirit with our friends from Yap and Palau, we welcomed our athletes and enjoyed food, music, and laughter. And then on the court, they all brought their A games.
I really want to win, but I love the competitiveness.
we're in for a blast of a tournament. I think the level's pretty high, and it's a good time.
Well, that's the best thing. You want to play against everybody around the area. Micronesia, the Pacific has great volleyball players and beach volleyball. We're out here, beautiful tropical island, and like I said, the amount of growth that has been experienced by all the players is amazing, and just love it.
Find a plan that goes with your flow. Get unlimited local talk, text, and data at the most affordable rate with Unlimited Flow Postpaid.
Island Cancer Center has the only state-of-the-art Halcyon Linear Accelerator, providing radiation treatments in the Asia-Pacific region. We are excited to be back up and running after Typhoon Mawar. We have been providing the highest quality patient-centered care for 14 years and will continue to do so. Why? Because we love what we do. Island Cancer Center, our family treating your family. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 671-646-3363.
The innovation you've been waiting for is here. Built on the 16X Cheez-It platform, it's the first flavor matrix stable enough to make a Cheez-It tostada possible and cheesy enough to power the Crunch Wrap. Because if you want to change the world, you have to bring something big to the table. Think big.
In times of uncertainty, trust is what leads the way. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
Giving Every Tuesday is brought to you by J. Goodman, a happiness company.
Oliver Burkhart is a warrior, and this jean jacket is his suit of armor.
I gotta say, I do love the dragon on the sleeve.
The soon-to-be 8th grader was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia in May of 2020.
It was a hard time, but either you can be humglum, sad, and be like, oh my gosh, this is never gonna end, or you can just get through it, like power through and just get it done with happiness.
So his dad, Brian, took to Facebook asking people to send patches, just a little something, to bring a smile to his son's face. To his surprise, even strangers sent them in.
And in 1 month's time, we received over 2,000 patches.
And so the Oliver Patch Project was born.
This is my first jacket. It's the one I got, the patches from that people sent in the mail.
Now, cancer-free for almost 2 years, Oliver and his dad send out personally picked patches on jackets and tote bags to other cancer fighters. Last year, the project was selected for a special designation.
Out of 25,000 applicants, they accept 30 new national days a year, and last year we were granted National Patch Day.
More than 1,400 warriors all over the country sport their unique patches with pride. Even former Miami Heat star Shaquille O'Neal dons the denim. For Oliver and his family, this is a mission to spread positivity and kindness.
Just to make sure they're loved and supported.
Putting a little sunshine in these kids' and families' lives is huge for us.
That will never go out of style. Lauren Pastrana, CBS News.
My friends, I have 6 of the most amazing words in the English language you're ever going to hear in the same phrase. Free and open to the public. Awesome, and that is what an art exhibit absolutely is. Make sure to check it out, make plans, bring the whole family down, bring your friends, bring your classmates, because it takes place on Saturday the 13th from 3 to 7 at the Guam Museum Rotating Gallery Tanay Animu. It is celebrating Indigenous art and native land stewardship. Absolutely amazing. Please come down and check it out. It's part of our heritage. It's who we are as a people. You are going to have a good time and you're going to learn something. All right, school is just around the corner. We've been telling you we got to support these wonderful foster kids, 600 of them across the island, and let's send them back to class with the tools they need to be successful and the next leaders of our island. So if you would, please donate number 2 pencils, crayons, paper, binders, folders, notebooks, and water flasks to Kmart. Please do so by the 25th. We at the KUAM Care Force are going to be there, and we would like to thank our friends at Kmart, Harvest House, and Ohima to help these 600 bright minds be their very best when they head back to class. And the Saipan Chamber of Commerce is going to hold EEO training. That is happening later this month. It's on the 6th floor of the Marianas Business Plaza. That starts at 9 in the morning. Once again, free and open to the public. We told you about free events, about art, about EEO, and about generosity, because that's what we do here on the island. We take care of each other.
It's time now for birthday wishes.
Here's your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
4 of your fellow Guamanians are today's birthday celebrants, so let's all get our party hats on and say, say it with now, happy birthday on July the 9th to Zairi Lay, who celebrates her 4th birthday from Mommy, Daddy, and your brothers. Keenan Joel, we would like to wish my grandson a happy 4th birthday himself. We hope you enjoy your special day with all the love in the world. Mom, Dad, Kian, Kaylee, Sage, Clyde, Evelyn, Alina, and of course, Carter. Michael J. Pakaigui, happy birthday wishes to you and to the coolest boy, Michael. Your laughter and energy are contagious and you bring so much joy to everyone. May your day be filled with epic adventures, lots of love, and endless fun. That's right. And Vanessa Boleto Guerrero, happy birthday to you. May every candle on your cake, Vanessa, be a blessing as you have been to us. Your love, your family says, makes our family complete. And they say, we love you.
And that's your primetime show.
Have a safe evening.
Catch Health, Home, and Lifestyle every Tuesday following KUM News Prime Time. We've got you covered with health and lifestyle news each Tuesday on the stations of KUM and our digital streaming platforms. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Half a day, everybody. Welcome back to House to Home, and the show we have where I am the only person in the Zoom room right now where I am not a professional licensed realtor. Liz Duenas and Gina Campos both are. They are RE/MAX Diamond Realty Guam. They are a service company whose life mission, as has been going on between them, 60 years of realty experience, has been to serve you. So, ladies, I wanted to talk about something. What is the essence of being a realtor? And sometimes in professions, I know I get this in my role as a broadcaster, sometimes the motive for going into a certain line of work and then what you actually do for a living and then the public perception of what that role is can often be, there's a little bit of a like grayness there and everything like that.
A disconnect.
But disconnect. I was also going to say misconception, but by the way, also misconception was the name of my 3rd grade teacher. So, you know, whatever.
Misconception.
Yeah, misconception. She's awesome. Okay, so let's talk about that. What is the perception from in your opinion of how the community like sees you? Are you guys just like used car salespeople, or are you guys just in it for commissions, or are you guys like advisors? Some people see you as lawyers, some people as, you know, whatever, but break it down for me.
Check all of the above.
There you go. Psychologist, perhaps, grief counselor,
every day.
loan officer. We've talked about that too.
No, I quit that job.
Okay, so what do you typically get when people ask you what you do, and probably more to the point, what do you not do?
You know, I want to touch, you said you wanted to introduce, and you said something about a RE/MAX Diamond Realty, a service company. That is the misconception, that we're not a service company, that realtors are not in the service industry. That is the beauty of what we do, is we don't sell products, we sell service. We offer our service. So that was the first, for me, eye-opener. I'm almost at 40 years doing this. And along the way, I came to the conclusion that I don't have a boss. I have many, 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 many bosses. Every customer that calls me is a boss. And so for the people, you know, for the realtors out there, or people thinking about getting into real estate who believe you're going to be your own boss, that is a misconception. Throw that out the window. Ain't gonna fly if you want to be successful at being a realtor. You need to understand service first.
Okay, Liz, how about you? Because you've been doing this a lot. You talk to a lot of people, and probably because of the success that we've had with this segment right here, you get noticed a lot out in the community. I know a lot of people think you're taller than you actually are.
That's correct.
But as far as the scope of your responsibility, what do people maybe think?
Well, I've been in the business close to 30 years myself, and the type of work we do, as Gina puts it, yes, if you were one of our clients, you are the boss. We are trained, we learn. Good realtors have to keep educating themselves, because times change, rules change, policies change. So we have to continue to take educational courses to stay on top of our game, as well as stay on top of technology. But we are advisors to our clients. If you're selling a piece of property, we don't dictate what that price would be. And we would do our research based on what the market is doing. And then we can advise you as a client, this is what the market looks like. But in the end, bottom line, the decision comes from you. If you agree with what we've come up with, you are the boss. And if we say it's priced at 500,000, but you say, I want 600,000, what do we do? I can only give you the update on information in the market, but the bottom line is we have to listen to you, the client, and we can provide information, give you some guidance. And yes, with all the years between Gina and myself, we're always putting our heads together because sometimes one has a better answer than what I have to solve a particular problem. But yes, there is that misconception that realtors, it's all about the money, and that's all we do is work to get the money, and that's not true, because there are times
it is a very lucrative one. There is very real potential for you to do quite well financially if you grind and if you really do your job the right way and have a big client list. And I was going to ask you ladies this exactly, because I remember on Guam in the early and mid 2000s, there were a lot of people like my age, right? I'm 50 now. So when a lot of my peers were like in their late 20s, early 30s, a lot of people were trying to study up and get their real estate license because they just thought it was this industry where you only work literally 3 hours a week and you'll make like 100K like a year. A lot of people made that assumption, and then 2008 happened and the housing market fell apart, and that really left a lot of those of you who really weathered the storm.
One thing I have to say, talk about weathering the storm. The market goes up, it goes down. Mm-hmm. If you are a full-time realtor, you don't worry about, because you're always there to provide a service in good times and in bad. And there's always someone looking to buy, there's always someone looking to sell. However, if you are just doing the work part-time, then that's hard to serve your clients or your customers. If you are a full-time agent, there's more impact in the work that you do. But again, they used to say, oh, the market is bad. Well, it's never bad for Gina and myself because it's a passion. We're always doing the work. And it doesn't matter, weekends, days, weekdays, weekends, we're 24/7. And, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and like I said, all of those peers of mine that just got into it because they thought it was going to be like a nice little side hustle, minimal effort, maximal game, none of them are there anymore because they just had a wrong perception what we're talking about here today. So, Gina, I'd like to ask you, in all the decades that you've been working on this, going on 4 now, as you said, what has been maybe the golden era or the high point of the market, like on Guam? Was it in the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, or we talked about like the 2008 financial crisis time and everything, but what has been a period of like peak productivity?
Jason, I never look at it that way. It's pretty consistent. Real estate is consistent. It's like the food industry. Everyone always needs a place to stay at all times. That's a given. So it never, there are occasions, there are periods in our timetable where it's easier to accomplish that in time, and periods where it's harder. Like recently, I believe it's gotten really hard to get into decent housing because of the cost of our rentals are really high right now. The cost to build is high. The cost to maintain properties is high. So that translates into cost of renting is high, because when it's costing your landlords a lot of money to keep the building in good condition, you're going to have to somehow, everything trickles down. Unless you're renting from your family member who's willing to discount the rent, people have to make a certain amount of money in order for them to be willing to be landlords, because it's not an easy job. And anybody who owns real estate, any owner that has real estate, you're holding onto that property either to pass it down, but in the meantime, if you can't afford to keep it because you can't pay for the expenses, it's going to rot away because you're not maintaining it. So people end up converting it to a rental in the hopes of maybe someday giving it to their children. So, you know, in that regard, for me, I believe that Liz said it earlier, the market is always constant. Yes, there are better years. It's easier to get paid for the service you're giving in some years. And you do a lot of it because it's easier to do it. You know, the year, it's a good real estate year, but recently it hasn't been like that.
Introducing GTA Fiber. We're bringing our fiber connection from the neighborhood all the way to your home. Now you can get lightning fast speed of up to 1 gig and take your streaming, downloading, or gaming to the next level. Plus, you get our next-gen Plume Wi-Fi, so you can experience all that speed throughout your home. Built on Guam's most reliable network. Visit gta.net to see if fiber is available in your area. GTA Fiber. Nothing beats fiber.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Want a real taste of New York? The classic New York-style pizza offers a big, bold taste that's a Guam favorite. It's handmade with 16 inches of foldable crust, a sweet marinara sauce, and your favorite topping. And at 30% larger than our large, classic New York pizza is only $12.99 for carryout. Bring together your family and friends for a classic New York pizza party. Each pizza is just $12.99 for carryout. Classic New York-style pizza, so close you can taste it. Only at your island Pizza Hut.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Yeah, and you know, we work for the owners, and so when owners come to us to talk to us about real estate, I mean, there have been occasions where Liz and I have sat down and looked at their numbers and said, listen, maybe it's a good idea if you hold on. I've actually had conversations with sellers where I've said, hold on. You actually don't really need to sell. If you sell, what's going to happen? But at the end of the day, like Liz said, they are our bosses, and you know, we have to understand that not everybody can afford to hold on to their property. Some people have medical issues. Some people just want to sell and make money. Yes, make money. That is not an ugly word. Making money was supposedly everybody's goal at one point. Now, when I talk to certain people, they make it like wanting to make money and be rich is an ugly thing. It is not. I've never desired to be poor. Been there, done that, and it's not pretty. And so, you know, being rich is much better. And so, you know, when we meet people and that's their goal, you know, we can't hold on to our real estate. We don't want to pass it down to the kids. We want to sell it and go live it up, or go take care of our medical issues, or take care of this family or that. That is not a bad thing. And we commend them for it. And our job is to do the best we can to help them meet and accomplish that goal. And we're going
if I could have studied computer science at MIT, I would have done that. But you know what? I couldn't afford it. That's a really, really tough school. And it's really, really expensive.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure if you had had the real estate assets and you could have said, listen, I'm going to sell my real estate assets to accomplish this goal, you might have done that. But you know what? It's not my business to ask what the goal is or what they're trying to do. My goal is to accomplish what the seller wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, Liz, what is the general attitude? Because of course you've been in leadership with the Guam Association of Realtors too, in addition to running your own brokerage as you guys do now. But what is the general consensus of the members of the association on what their role is within the industry and then the larger the macroeconomy of Guam?
I think as realtors, we all have the same, of course, personalities are different. Ways of conducting business is different, but in general, realtors act on a code of conduct and ethics, and we're governed by that. And when a realtor violates those ethics, then a grievance is presented, and the board will have to deal with that. But I would love to say, in general, everyone would operate with the highest of integrity and ethics. But again, there may be cases where that does not happen. But in general, between Gina and myself, we want to do what's right. And I want to talk about property rights. If you owned a piece of property, it's your right to either rent it, sell it, and make money on it. And if I were to infringe on that right, sometimes there's talk about the government infringing on your property rights. I really think that is unfair. Both Gina and I think no one should infringe on your property rights. As realtors, our job is to help you get maximum rental value on your property. And she said, there's nothing wrong with that. It's your right to do whatever you choose to.
You live a better life. Who's going to complain about that?
Exactly. And our role is to tell you, here's the comps. Gina and I do not pull figures from the air. We always look at, okay, what were the similar type properties that sold or rented? And those are the facts we present to you. So if I tell you, well, you can get $2,400 a month on your rental, but you say, well, I want $2,800. Again, you're dictating you want $2,800. So we can put it on the market. And you know what? There are cases where the price may have been inflated, but there's a market for it. Someone rents it. They're happy with it. What's wrong with that?
Let me ask you, I don't want to say the integrity, but the role, and that's why we're talking about it today. The role of realtors on Guam hasn't necessarily been questioned, but I mean it's been brought up in the legislature recently because of this, the decedent parental subdivision property issue, which continues to be like a thing right now. What is the pulse of the realtor community right now, in how they're it's being assumed that like they're being framed, either whether it's it's crass capitalism or whether it's there's nefarious intent and everything? Are the realtors kind of like corralling together and saying like this is what we chose to do, or is it kind of like offense at being labeled in a certain way?
It's of course offensive, but like the community at large, Jason, there's only a very small handful of people showing up at the legislature, not because they're not being impacted or affected by this bill or the inability of the legislature to pass the bill.
Docomo Pacific is on a mission. Whether you're a small business or a large enterprise, we believe fast internet's no longer just an option, it's a necessity. That's why we're committed to bringing fiber to everyone. As your business needs expand, we're working to bridge the digital divide by making strong, swift connections scalable to any business, ensuring you have the connectivity required and then some. Building for tomorrow's needs today. Fiber for everyone. Docomo Pacific Business.
Get ready for the event of the summer. It's the Micronesian Music Festival, Rhythm by the River.
On July 27th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., join us at Valley of the Latte in Talo'fo'fo for a day of live music, incredible food, local crafts, and unforgettable cultural experiences. Featuring Patrick Palomo and the Trade Winds, Trey Cunningham, Straight Up Jed, Microchild, Jonah Hanum, K.O. Ray, and more. Tickets are just $25 for adults, $10 for students, and kids 5 and under get in free. Proceeds go to benefit the work of the Guam Wave Clubs, teaching our youth what makes Guam a unique destination, and Ikutarata Inc., where culture is king. Visit valleyofthelatte.com for more info. Don't miss out!
Presented by Ikutarata Inc., Guam Wave Clubs, Valley of the Latte LLC, Thrive Media Group, the Northern Guam Soil and Water Conservation District, Vantage Advertising, Pepsi, Jeff's Pirates Cove, Calvo Select Care, and the stations of KUAM.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Half a day. I'm Claire Calvo bringing you your weekly renewal. Today I am here with Dr. Luan Wen, who is a board-certified doctor in family medicine as well as aesthetics and some new interesting, he's moving into some integrative, more holistic territory as well. So excited to hear about that. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Can you just start off by giving us an idea of what inspired you to, well, of course, as a doctor, but move into holistic health?
Sure. So I've always, I think, been interested in holistic medicine and trying to find out more of the regenerative ways how our own body can repair itself, regenerate, and get over certain illnesses or diseases, right? So I had a lot of injured patients or patients with chronic pain or any kind of pain or functional disabilities, and I couldn't get anyone into physical therapy, and it could be like a month of waiting. So I decided to try this out and be able to have more faster patient engagement into physical therapy.
Awesome.
But also like the idea of just not only relying on medications for improving pain or any sports injuries, but rather use physical therapy. And from there, I wanted to hopefully build on other modalities that I believed in, whether it's acupuncture or work with chiropractors, use supplementations to help with that process. So I've always kind of had that interest in how do I combine East with West, Chinese medicine and learning about that and see how we can incorporate those philosophies with the modern technology, which is great, but I think they do lack in certain things. I think a lot of times modern medicine right now focuses a lot about at the end point and maybe treating a little bit about the symptoms rather than getting to the root cause. So I wanted to see how we can use both modalities or both philosophies to take care of the person as a whole.
And so right now at Nugent, what are some of the services and the different practices that you offer?
Right. So right now, our core practice is physical therapy. We've had health coaching for some time, but that's on hold right now. And we also have personal training. We had massage in the past. So it's kind of waiting based on personnel and staff. It's hard to always recruit the type of specialties. So, but I've always wanted to expand that in terms of augmenting Western medicine through Nugent.
Well, June is also Father's Day. We have Father's Day, and I know it's Men's Health Awareness Month. Is there anything you would like to share specifically to men?
Maybe what might be helpful is, or what the message I want to put out is, if you do really care about your family, your wives or your partner, or your children, I think you have to embrace the mentality where you have to take care of your health, right? Because this day and age, medical care is getting really expensive. So it's always a lot cheaper to catch things at the front end, right? Catch it at the pre-diabetic level, or when you have mild coronary disease, something that's early on, or even cancer that might be early when it's not metastasized everywhere. So that's a lot cheaper to treat. I wanted to give that message to really go after at a preventative and start with just a physical and get the basic labs first. And that's kind of the main message I want to put out. If that still doesn't resonate, I think one thing that will resonate maybe for the men is erectile dysfunction or being able to perform in the bed. And I think a lot of people don't make that connection where diabetes or smoking is probably the top 2 causes of erectile dysfunction. If that doesn't motivate you, I don't know what will. So, so getting these testing and to take care of your health in that way is, I think, the best way to be able to perform in the bedroom.
Thank you for joining us. Join us next week for our next part of this 2-part series.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Something is calling, and I can't help it. Let's don't belong when there ain't no soul. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when I make a move. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when let's take a break. There's no use. This is my mood when I make a move. This is my mood when
Why wait to get the upgrade you deserve? Head to IT&E and bring home the phone of your dreams today without the high upfront cost. No contract required. Simply pay it off in easy, affordable installments with a device payment plan. You'll even save more cash with a huge discount on unlimited data. Or choose the 10 gig plan for a lower monthly payment and unlimited access to your favorite social media apps. Sign up today for the phone you've always wanted on the plan that meets your budget. IT&E. Connect with savings.
In times of uncertainty, trust is what leads the way. The Medical City, your trusted partner in health.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
Dr. H. Bryant Wen visited Guam recently, speaking at the Hafaday Pacific Medical Conference. He's a man who's seen a lot with a unique connection to the territory, having returned and set foot on the island that he at one point called home after a half-century away.
My family was, one of the refugees at the end of the Vietnam War. So the historic date for us is April 30th, 1975. But my family, we were able to leave early since my mother worked for the U.S. government. And then when we heard that Saigon actually fell, we left. And that's when we went to Guam.
Dr. Wen was 9 years old. Coming back to Guam, he walked the grass of the War in the Pacific Memorial Beach Park, where he briefly lived.
Then we were at Guam about at the beginning of May. And we stayed at Camp Asan, which I believe now is Asan Beach. We stayed there for like a month. And then we went to camp, I think, to Anderson Air Force Base for another week or so, waiting to be transported.
His family ultimately settled in Southern California, where he went to school and distinguished himself. He's now a faculty member at Loma Linda University, where he's done research on the body reacting erroneously to infection, the potentially lethal condition known as sepsis.
Yeah, so the management of sepsis right now is antibiotic, fluids management or blood pressure management, and source control is what we call it. Take out the source of infection. There has been a lot of research in the last, I would say, at least 3 or 4 decades looking what we call novel therapies. Novel therapies mean, is there a specific drug that can target the disease? And we have a number of them. I would say several dozens that's been researched. Unfortunately, none of them has held up because we don't truly understand the unifying mechanism of sepsis.
After working as a software engineer, he shifted focus and went to med school. Now, he may have pivoted professions, but he maintained his innovative mindset that he now applies to the business of saving lives.
I'm actually exploring the use of AI for that. I think in the last maybe 5 to 10 years, there's a lot of predictive model that have been used to identify sepsis. But again, it goes back to the fundamental premise of what is the definition or how do I diagnose sepsis? So we don't have a gold standard yet. So when you have AI, it's just another predictive model that has to work off a gold standard. And when we're still debating about the gold standards, it's very difficult. But I think, yes, AI may add a different level of possibilities.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
Catch Health, Home, and Lifestyle every Tuesday following KUAM News Prime Time. We've got you covered with health and lifestyle news each Tuesday on the stations of KUAM and our digital streaming platforms. Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by the Medical City, your trusted partner in health.